So apart from it, and guys, I have got a special announcement to make that we are giving out some free copies of Peoplonomics. So for that,
books, guidance, growth. Welcome to When to Read What podcast, and this is Harshal, your host.
hey guys, welcome to When to Read What podcast. And today I would like to start off by sharing one of my experiences. So when I was working in the corporate world, most of the time I used to think about why this person is behaving in a certain way and what is he trying to achieve. So, to decode this mystery of an organization, we have got an experienced market strategist, Mr. Vijay Sokhi. He runs a consulting firm known as Sharp Consulting and Implementing Firm and has helped several brands to build their businesses. And recently, he has written about his corporate experience and compiled his wisdom in Peoplonomics. So, hello Vijay sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Harshal. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you and discuss the piece which I have written with you and your audience.
Yes, sir. It is actually a very fabulous book. So let us just start off. So Peoplonomics is a very interesting title. So can you please tell our listeners what is the meaning of Peoplonomics?
See, when I was devising the name of the book, the name which came to me was Four People in an Organization, and it was very stale and mundane. So basically, when I started finding out the name, it was my publisher and my literary agent, which is the book bakers, which told me the name should be written in such a way that it becomes a brand. So that was something which got me working, and I was I was trying to find out all kind of combinations which are available to get to the right name. So how did Peoplenomics come to my mind? So the thing is, if you hit the net and if you go to the dictionary, you will find the word economics. Economics is the way in which the money, the business, and the organizations work. Now, since my book is all about organizations, I thought without people, economics cannot work. So if my book is all about people and the way in which economy is run, what if I join these two names? That is where I came across the name Peoplenomics, and I'm very happy that people who are reading the book are able to connect with the title, and the response is really phenomenal. So, in short, if you ask me what Peoplenomics is the study of people who run organizations.
Wow. I think there is a great deal of thought process has been went into naming this book. And actually, I also went online and tried to search Peoplenomics, but I wasn't able to find any definition over it. So I went to especially Oxford Dictionary side and Cambridge and all that kind of thing. But then I thought that no, Peoplenomics is a word that has been created by you. So that was my little story about Peoplenomics.
I see the thing is ki everybody has got that creativity part in them, but somewhere the life forces us to do to do things which are necessary. So
Yeah.
and in fact, you too have your creative side. Everybody who is listening to this podcast also has a creative side. Only we need to ignite it. So that is what the book
Totally,
tries
sir.
to do.
Nice. So what is the motivation behind writing Peoplenomics?
The motivation, if you ask me about Peoplenomics, is so when I was when I was making the structure of the book, it is really a very painful and a very time consuming activity. So I am actually a very serious writer on LinkedIn, and there, when I was writing my articles, that is where the first structure of the book, the matrix which you see inside the book, came into existence. I published it through a blog, and I got good response. And that is where I thought, ki this matrix, if it is expounded, it will make a lot of sense. So, with the response I got through the blog, I started working on the book. But the word like dedication, devotion is something which is required to write a book, and these are not my talent. So I really had to, slog it out. And when I started writing, I within 1 month, I was able to realize that this is not my piece of cake. I cannot do it, not possible, because the kind of effort which goes in writing a book is tremendous. For me, I had to write the book 4 times before it has reached you.
Oh.
The thing which kept me driving or kept me motivated to write the book was when I wrote the basic structure. I was able to see that this structure does exist. And I thought, so it was like when I was speaking to somebody, right now as I'm speaking to you, I can, classify you to one section of the matrix, and I can devise the way in which I talk to you, the way I, interact with you through that understanding. So in the corporate world, when I was interacting with people, I could see, okay, this guy is a creator, which means I have to, interact with him, work with him, or, when I'm in team with him, there is a certain way in which I have to handle him. So this started showing results to me. And I thought, if I can do that, how about sharing my entire experience or sharing this entire concept with the entire world? So that is where I thought ki a huge amount of people can benefit out of this, this book. And I then decided ki no matter what happens, let me make an attempt, and I will see how things move ahead. I had butterflies in the stomach till the time I did not release the book. Now it is almost 7-8 months. The book is doing good, and I'm happy that people who are reading it are able to connect with it. And that was, even you have read the book. So the way in which it has been written, from the starting till the end, you feel that there is a connection. The book doesn't leave you. So that was the motivation. And I think you too, after reading the book, must have been able to find out where you stand, how your career is going to phase, what are the different kind of people who are going to impact you.
Definitely, sir. Actually, while I was reading the book, so many times it has happened me like that. Yeah, I have seen a person like this who was acting like this, exactly like this, and finally I started to understand what was his motivation behind it and how he was thinking about it. So, sir, it was really an amazing read from that perspective.
Okay, thanks, यार. Pleasure is all mine. This, वो कहते हैं ना, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती. So
Yes.
keep on trying.
Definitely, sir. In the very first chapter itself, the first chapter is named as the unknown box. And you have mentioned that most of the people are trapped in the unknown box. So can you please share with us what is the unknown box and how to come out of it?
Okay. Whenever we start a book, no, so in future, whenever you are going to write, or people, who have this passion to pursue, the most difficult aspect is, how to start a book and how to end the book.
Definitely.
So the unknown box is the first chapter, as you rightly said.
Mhm.
See, the first chapter was the last chapter which I wrote after finishing the book.
Mhm.
Um, when I was in the process of devising the entire matrix, there was one question which was bothering me. And since I'm a market entry strategist, there is one word which we believe is something which can create wonders in the field of marketing and brand building. It is known as reason to believe.
Okay.
Why will you believe me? Whenever you start a company, whenever you try to buy a product for yourself, you always have a belief system behind which you pick up that particular product. So why will a person believe on the word, on the book Peoplonomics? That is where the unknown box came stuck into my mind.
Mhm.
When the entire book was ready, I was somewhere feeling that I am not able to drive my reader to a point where he is able to get a starting point. So the so so the thing was key. I had to create something from which I could drive the reader.
Mhm.
Um, so the unknown box is basically, if you look at, I will not reveal everything, but it is a mental setup that all of us has got. Now, this mental setup is such that, sometimes we feel that, we change organization, we change our jobs, we change our roles, and we feel that the moment we have changed from an X company to Y company, we feel good. But what are we doing? If we are doing the same thing that we have done in one organization and doing the same kind of thing in another organization, we will feel good in the initial period. But as we start, doing the things again and again, we start, realizing that, there has been only some change, but that change was actually a myopia, and you still find yourself inside a box. So most of the time, people think that by changing their organizations, they are able to bring a change in their life. They are not bringing any change in their life. They are only changing the structure. It is only when they spend a considerable time, they start suffocating and they realize they are still inside a box, but the box has changed. So which is the box you need to change? Is it the organization you need to change, or a box which is somewhere inside your consciousness needs to be changed? So it drives the author, it drives the reader to locate that box which is there in your mind and is never been told by anybody. So that is how the unknown box concept comes into the picture. And it raises a question in the mind of the reader, and that is from where it takes forward. So that is all about the unknown box.
Wow, sir, that was some amazing insight, and I totally agree. So, sir, first of all, when you have started, you were saying that you are not going to reveal everything, but I don't think actually you have revealed almost, I guess, 80 to 90% of the unknown box here only. So, apart from it, and guys, I have got a special announcement to make that we are giving out some free copies of Peoplonomics. So, for that, you just need to like this video and subscribe to When to Read What, and also share the link of the video I have mentioned in the description down below on WhatsApp and Instagram. And along with along with your thoughts in the comment section down below. And the giveaway is majorly divided into two parts. So in the first part, Vijay sir is going to choose the three best comments who will be getting a signed copy of Peoplonomics. And to know the second part, please stay tuned till the end of the video. So now let us just get back to the show. So, sir, in the book, you have talked a lot about the personality and psychology of various people working in an organization, and the matrix that you have used to segregate them is based on experience and knowledge. So, is there any specific reason why you have chosen these two parameters only?
Harshal, the thing is, whenever we go to the corporate world, there are basic requirements on the basis of which our career is dependent. So according to me, there are only two things. Okay, one is experience. Experience, how do we attain it? Is by keeping on, when we keep on doing things time and again, we get to know the different ways in which one thing can be done. So if you are not experienced, getting or keeping yourself at an organization at a certain level is very difficult. Okay, many times you will find that people who do not have a great educational background but have great experience, they do phenomenally well in their corporate life. Why they do so is because they are experienced. So when experience speaks, everybody has to keep quiet. So experience is very important. Number two is knowledge. Now, I will just take a little deviation here, and to bring the viewers to a certain point, I would say that by knowledge I mean the education system which gives us a certification. So I don't want to change the topic and speak much about the education system that all of us follow, but in this context, I mean knowledge is the certification or the qualification which you have got to enter into an organization. Now, the first point was experience. If you do not have a certification, but you have a great experience, you have a great chance in the corporate life. Now, when I speak of a knowledge which comes through education, there is a huge chunk, and that is the basic benchmark which is required to enter an organization. So there are two parameters. Only on basis of these two you can enter, right? So that is why I have taken these two as a benchmark, as a parameter, and I am quite sure that every person, no matter where he is in an organizational structure, it completely depends on the type of experience and the kind of knowledge he has got. So that is why these two aspects have been taken.
Wow, sir, I totally agree with you, and up to a certain level, I also agree with you on both of this point, because whatever I experienced so far, I also think that knowledge and experience are the key pillars of your career and everything, I guess, whatever you do in your corporate life. So, sir, apart from it, can you please briefly explain to us about the four categories in which organization is usually divided into, and some of the most common traits of each category? So, as I think, sir, it is also the cover of your book.
Yeah, it is. So it is a teaser actually.
Yeah.
See, Harshal. Now, this is a very important aspect of anybody's career, to understand what kind of people work with you. Now, it is a big mistake when people look at their associate in the perspective of a designation. So designation is just an ornament. That is my thinking. There are very few people whom I have met personally who deserve to be at that designation. There is some edits which has happened inside the book. I had to knock it off because it was sounding too harsh and it was very real also. But I will speak out because now we are recording and we are talking on this and making this video. So people should, at least they can understand what was going inside my mind when I was in this mode of writing. Sometimes what happens in an organization, you will find the most undeserving person at a very high level. And why does it happen? Because he is, most of the times, we see people who are that yes boss kind of a person. They do not have anything. They do not have. Their only talent is they will never say no to somebody, and they can go to any kind of level to protect themselves. They do not care about anything. I do not want to use that word, but these people have their ponytails moving behind someone only to serve their purpose. Right? So that has been edited. But what has been kept inside the book is, the people who matter. So number one is creator. Now, what is a creator? Now, creator is somebody who has got, a high level of knowledge and a high level of experience. Now, that's not it. Okay. There are other elements which differentiate him from other people who are there working inside an organization. So what is it? So I leave it to the readers to find it from the book what it is. But the thought is, at times you meet people who are so knowledgeable. By knowledge I do not mean certification. You have to read the book to find out what I mean when I say the word knowledge. And highly experienced, but extremely down to earth. They will have no arrogance. They will have no ego. And that was the most difficult part of the chapter, because I myself had met very few creators in my life. And these few people had a, drastic impact in the way in which I shaped my, corporate career. Number two is paperman. Now, when I talk about papermen, these are all knowledgeable people. By knowledge, I would like to define here people who come from top schools. They are, top academics, but somewhere down the line, they lack experience, because experience is something which you will gain only by doing it, not by reading it. So at times in organization, we find people from these top places coming in and joining at a very high position. And they are so inexperienced that at times there are situations when they completely create anarchy by their, way of working. So you will at times, we feel that, we are left out. Yes, see, there is no doubt that these kind of people are required, because the knowledge which they have is very important for any organization to excel. But there is a little amount of, I would say, that ego element which comes in, which has to go. If it does go, then a paperman sometimes feels, paper people sometimes feels like a creator. Now, I have been using this word paperman because when I wrote the book, I had kept it as paperman. But somebody suggested me that it is a sexist word. That's why I changed it to paper people. So that is why, frequently I'm using the word paperman. So that is what paper people are. Extremely important, but at the same time, you need to know how to handle them. There are many organizations across the country, mind it, Harshal, who do
Yes.
not have a paperman.
Okay.
Why? Because they cannot afford it, which is the reason why they remain where they are. Because to have a paperman on board, you need to, very well handle his ego also. Now, coming to the third one, which is a muddler.
Mhm.
Muddler is uh, something with which most of the people will be able to connect. So, when we talk about muddler, these are all those people who are highly experienced. Now, somewhere down the line, what they miss is experience has got one fundamental problem. Through proper training, you can give experience to anybody,
Totally.
right? So
Yes.
when this happens, the person who is experienced becomes obsolete,
Okay.
and
Yes.
that is where in organization, the word, I don't think I have mentioned this in the book, but corporate politics. Have you heard
Uh,
about it?
yes, I have heard about it, but I don't think I have experienced it.
So when people are insecure and they do not find any other way of doing things, they move into something known as corporate politics.
Okay.
And this is one of the thing with which most of the organizations suffer. I am a market entry strategist. I launch new companies. Sometimes I have to move out because I find people unknowingly getting into these kind of modes which create anarchy. And it is very difficult to work in those kind of organization, but you have to know
Mhm.
what corporate politics is. So I have not spoken in detail about that aspect in the book, but when you read the book, you will get to know the people with whom you have to be very careful when you're looking forward to build up your career.
Mhm.
Because if you are in the wrong hands, then you will learn wrong things. So Muddler is very experienced, and his experience cannot be discounted, right? You need experienced people. But the problem happens when they stop their knowledge bank. They have to keep on adding knowledge to themselves. It is only then that insecurity will go away. And the organization will be a very happy place to work. And the last is slogger. So sloggers are basically those people who remain where they are throughout their entire career. Do not have any ambitions. They do not have anything much to contribute. They are those people who do routine work
Mhm.
and very insecure. People who have crafted their life according to their earnings rather than trying to earn more. They try to fit their lifestyle into what they earn. So they do not have any ambitions. They're mostly scared of moving out of their job. So most of the time they are protecting themselves. And but sometimes it happens that one of the slogger will come out and create history. So you have to read the book in details to find out, what they are all about. But mark what I said before. Designation is just an ornament. Sometimes a person may be designated at a very high level, but when you read the book, you will find out at that high level also, he actually comes in the bottom of the pyramid and is a slogger. So if you are following a slogger, then there is a huge chance that you will end up being one. So that is the book. That is what the book tries to do. This is not it. There are other thing also. There is other aspect also. which says there is a certain sect of people for whom knowledge and experience doesn't mean anything. To know who they are, you have to read the book. So that is why the pyramid does not contain it. So you have read the book, I think you know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Totally. Actually, all the images were coming to my mind as you were speaking to it, and all the characteristics also. So apart from it, sir, I also wanted to know how can people benefit it by applying Peoplenomics into their day-to-day life?
I had no clue how the book is going to be accepted by the people. There is a mindset in which, a person writes. So Harshal, I will take you a little back.
Yes.
When I wrote the book for the first time, I'm telling you first time because I wrote it 4 times.
Oh.
So when I wrote the book for the first time, I was very thrilled that, I did a good job. And as with many authors, so is with me also. I had my book evaluated with a third person. And that is where she came and told me, ki, Mr. Sokhi, the way you have written it's completely negative. People will, not be able to digest what you have written. Harsh, to what you have written. So I had to rewrite it again from a very different perspective. That was again over. So I went to the publisher. Publisher said me, Ki, Vijay bhai, this is 35,000 words. Can you just put 10,000 more? So that 10,000 took another toll. And I had to write, once everything was done, then, I had to redraft it for the 4th time. So once the 4th time was ready, then the book got published. I had my objective, I had my vision. And that was what happened in the first and second part. But the book that you are reading today is something which I did not write from my perspective.
Okay.
I wrote it from your perspective. So most of the time when a reader is reading the book, he will find that it is happening with him. So my objective, the application which I thought which is the ultimate goal of this book is to make every working individual, no matter who is he, a good human being. I wanted that people read the book, okay, and apply the book in their life. So the feedback which I have received, the reviews which I have received, I'm very happy that they have been able to connect with it, and they have written to me stating that, sir, whatever you have written is actually implementable. So whatever I have written is something which you can implement, right? If you apply this in your corporate journey, you will get to know what are the kind of steps which you have to take to reach to a very high level in your life. Now, this is the other thing which I'm telling is something which the readers have said me. They have said me, sir, this is actually a motivation book. So, these are the things which, you can basically look forward from the book. And it is, since I'm a market entry strategist and the name of the company is Sharp Consulting and Implementing Company. So whatever I do is something which can be implemented. So this book can be applied by anybody who wants to excel in their career.
Totally, sir. Sir, I also agree with you because it has also helped me a lot, and I have gained a lot of perspective after reading Peoplenomics. So now coming to the last and important question, sir, when to read Peoplenomics?
See, as I said you that I am a market entry strategist. I basically form strategies for companies. One of the fundamental questions which I ask whenever I consult somebody is, who are your customers? Now, it's a very simple question to ask. but it's a very difficult question to answer. And this question has to be answered correctly, and it's non-negotiable. So when I wrote Peoplonomics, I was absolutely sure for whom I was writing. My target audience were people working in an organization. So target is very clear. I had actually defined the age of the people who would like to read the book or connect with the book. The age group I feel is between 18 to 45.
Oh,
So that is the right age group which people will, able to connect with the book. Now, when should you read Peoplenomics? See, first, I think after the feedback which I have received, this is not what I am saying, this is what people are saying. It is the right time. The right time to read this book is when you begin your career. All our, the organizations where we work, the place that we study, they train us for everything. But when you start working for somebody in an organization, formulas, theories are in one place. You are managing people. That is the bottom line. Whether it is me, you, Bill Gates, Satya Nadella, whoever it is, data is one aspect. But when it comes to successfully run an organization, it is people. And if you ask any business leader, he will tell you how difficult it is to handle a person. Because, there is something which I would like to bring light to. Have you heard about Tower of Babel?
yes, sir. I have heard about it.
Yeah. To just give you a gist, so when God said to the human race, you can reach to me provided you build a tower. So human beings at that time did not know how to speak. And they started constructing the tower. And the tower was going in the right direction. And suddenly God realized that his people will reach him. And God is something he is the greatest craftsman ever. So what he did, he just gave one power to the human being and told them, speak. And within hours, the entire tower broke. That is what happens in an organization or in our day-to-day life. The more we speak, the more we get into trouble. Now, every person has got his own psychology, he's got his own upbringings, he has got his own values. And he tries to enforce this in the place of work. Now, how will you handle it? You have to have some strategy. Otherwise, you will never be able to lead a team. It will be completely chaos. So when you read this book, then you also get to know how to handle people. So if a person who is rising up his career and has to build up a team which is consistent, which will always fight, by the way. There will be quarreling, there will be fighting. That is non-negotiable. It is going to happen. But at the end of the day, it is, they have to drive an organization to an objective. So when you have that objective clear and you're struggling to put all the people into track, pick up this book and read it. It will tell you how you should guide them. And as I said early, if at times you are feeling down, pick up this book, and it's my promise to you, it will motivate you to make that extra move.
That's a really wonderful podcast, sir. Sir, so apart from it, can you please tell our listeners how they can connect with you?
They can connect with me on the LinkedIn. I am there on the LinkedIn. And I am partly there on Instagram also. Just search my name and you will find me there. And to know more about me, you can hit my website, which is www.scico.in. So SCICO means Sharp Consulting and Implementing Company, and SCICO sounds as SICO. So keep the learning process on.
Wow, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I will mention all the links below down in the description. And for the second part of the giveaway, you need to follow us on our Instagram handle, and you are going to find the giveaway details in the highlight section over there. So we are going to announce the winners on the 12th of Jan 2021. And please don't forget, the more you share, the better your chances of winning. So until then, happy reading Peoplenomics.
Before we end, Harshal, I thank you very much for getting me on board for this podcast. I wish you and your team all the success. And I never forget to mention about Suhail Mathur, who really was the guiding person to write, get this book published. He runs a literary agency known as Book Bakers, and that's it. So I'm thankful to you. I'm thankful to everybody, and I'm thankful to God that He made me worthy of writing such a good book.
So it has been all my pleasure to have such a big guest like you on our podcast channel. So thanks for coming. And once again, to all our listeners, happy reading Peoplenomics. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. God bless you all.